my topic is Halas because he's really one of the most innovative coaches ever. I would have done Curly Lambeau, but I mean I'm restricted to Illinois here. But
That's all right.
did you know?
If you would have done Curly Lambeau, you would have been sitting next to me. How's that? Just kidding.
Yeah. Did you know that Halas invented daily practice sessions? George Halas.
My years in Dallas, I mean in Chicago, just to give you a little perspective. So George Halas married Virginia McCaskey, okay, I'm sorry, George Halas' daughter is Virginia McCaskey. Virginia McCaskey was a Halas and married a McCaskey, so that's how the McCaskeys became in the family. So my rookie year, the guy who taped my ankles was Brian McCaskey, one of Virginia McCaskey's.
Oh, I think I've heard of him before because I got a neighbor whose dad used to own a factory whose employee was Brian McCaskey.
Okay. So Brian McCaskey started out did some athletic training and did some physical therapy, and then he got into and so now he's on the board of directors. Now he just does the football business. But George McCaskey, who's now the chairman of the board, was the ticket guy, the guy who handled all the tickets for the games. And so every day on the table, I got a history lesson on the Bears and Coach Halas. So he had mentioned that you have Coach Halas to thank for this practice today because we're practicing basically every day leading up to the games. And what also he did was he took practice sessions, and they were basically mini games. The idea being that the more difficult practice was, the easier the game would become. So unfortunately, in today's NFL, that's been lost because they can't practice near as hard as they used to back in the day. But there's a big school of thought about keeping players safe because in Coach Halas' day, you were basically playing 5 games leading up to a game. Those practices were that intense.